What's up, guys? It's your boy GP with Zest Protocol and Stacking DAO, tuning in for a little bit of an update today, here on this lovely Tuesday, the 14th of July, 2026. Taking a look at the Bitcoin chart, looking like we're getting back above 64K, getting a nice little pump off of the CPI data, coming in a little bit cooler than expected. Looking like we're about to get a golden cross where the blue line here, the 50-day moving average, crosses the 200-day moving average on the 15-minute time frame here. But if we're going up into the bigger time frames here, going to the daily candle and taking a look, we are getting a very, very nice green candle here, up about 3.84% on the day. Going to the weekly time frame, we have a bullish cross on the stochastics RSI here, with the weekly stochastics reset to the bottom and pointing back to the upside. We are also back above the 200-day moving average on the weekly time frame. Last time we did this, we did a very, very nice pump. If we see here in the circle, when we had this bullish divergence on the stochastics, we did pump for a good amount. So let's take a look at what we did pump for this last time we got a bullish divergence on the stochastics. We went up for about 90%, 98% gains. Let's take a look. I'll pull this from here to there if I could get it. there we go. All right, so it was about a 98% gain last time we had a bullish cross on the stochastics RSI. So do we see something similar here take place? Maybe we see a pump back up to around 114K for Bitcoin. Only time will tell. Moving on into the news here, and taking a look here, some very important news from the main Zest Protocol handle, and that is at Zest Protocol. Make sure that you give it a follow, get into the Discord, get activated, get mobilized. An important update for Season 1 point holders, 2 amendments to the airdrop claim schedule, both to align the distribution event more tightly with the Zest Protocol growth. First, a hard claim deadline, so the initial TGE tranche must be claimed by July 15th, 2026 at 000 UTC. Anything unclaimed after that returns to the community treasury. So, guys, if you have a Season 1 airdrop for Zest, be sure to go to app.zestprotocol.com and claim your initial airdrop, or it'll be going back to the community treasury tomorrow. Moving on from that, from Protocol here, this is another one that has to do with Zest. 2 days left to pay out, and this was posted on the 13th, so I do believe today is the last day to pay out your AUSD or ABTC. If you have supplied AUSD on Zest to earn APY or borrow against it, be sure to withdraw your supply off of Zest before the end of the day today. That way, you're not getting a suspended asset and losing access to your funds and your buying power there. So be sure to get your AUSD off of Zest and go pay out with Protocol. Moving on here, just wanted to talk about this post from DeFi Warhol, kind of comparing and contrasting when liquid staked ETH came out for the ETH ecosystem and what is to come for self-custodial Bitcoin staking and STBTC. So ETH alone is bigger than all of wrapped Bitcoin. Lido Finance's TVL is at 16.5 billion in TVL, while WBTC, the biggest wrapped Bitcoin product, sits at 7.3 billion. One liquid staking token on Ethereum outweighs Bitcoin's entire wrapped DeFi footprint, even though BTC has a 6x bigger market cap than ETH. Huge difference there. This means that BTC is underutilized in DeFi, and most of the supply is sitting idle. Let me break down the reasons for this. So the STETH precedent. Before liquid staking, ETH holders had a simple but annoying trade-off. Stake ETH and earn yield, or keep it liquid and use it across DeFi. Once ETH was staked, it could earn, but it was basically all it could do. It couldn't be used as collateral, traded, looped, or built into other products. STETH fixed that issue. It turned a locked staking position into a liquid asset that could move through ETH DeFi. Suddenly, staked ETH became collateral, trading liquidity, leverage fuel, a PendleFi asset, and eventually the base for restaking. The reason it worked is simple but specific. Ethereum's staking yield is a native protocol level cash flow, so a token representing that yield is a productive by default. Wrapped BTC's limits, so Bitcoin never had the same setup as Ethereum. WBTC represents BTC's price, but it doesn't represent a native cash flow. There is no Bitcoin staking yield underneath it, so it never had the same productive pool that STETH had. And then there's the custody problem. To use WBTC, you need to hand your BTC to a custodian. That might be acceptable for some users, but it was always a tough sell to a holder base that treats self-custody as super seriously. That's why wrapped Bitcoin never became Bitcoin's STETH moment. Less than 1% of BTC supply is productive in DeFi today, and the market is split across WBTC, TBTC, CBBTC, and other versions without any of them reaching STETH level depth. So liquidity fragmentation there. Having more wrappers is clearly not working. I'd argue that BTC needs a more native path to Bitcoin, to DeFi. New BTC design. So this path is starting to take shape through Stacks' SBTC. Unlike WBTC, SBTC isn't held by a custodian. It's backed by a decentralized signer set holding a Bitcoin multisig on chain. So there's no single custodian whose collapse would put BTC at risk. This also means the BTC stays visible on chain. That solves the trust problem. Stacks' upcoming Bitcoin staking solves the capital efficiency problem. Locked BTC earns a yield paid in BTC, drawn from the network's proof of transfer. The yield is native to Bitcoin. And stacking DAO's STBTC turns that staked position into a liquid token, so that BTC is able to move through DeFi while it stays staked and earning. This is reminiscent of STETH's move, only now it's applied to Bitcoin. So DeFi Warhol's take here: on every chain with a native yield to build on, liquid staking grew a whole DeFi economy around it. ETH, Sol, and Cosmos all played out the same way. It's a clear pattern. Now Bitcoin has the same native yield through STBTC's self-custodial Bitcoin staking. The asset is not live yet, so this is still a thesis, but the pool of idle Bitcoin sitting behind it is far larger than what ETH or Sol had when their versions took off. If even a fraction of that idle Bitcoin moves, it will be a massive shift in the space. And his disclosure saying that he's a longtime STX holder and Stack supporter. If we take a look at the wrapped Bitcoin here, and then also kind of comparing it to Lito's STETH. Well, I think this is a very, very well written article, kind of explaining how big self-custodial Bitcoin staking and STBTC is for Bitcoin DeFi. Bitcoin native finance is a huge narrative to follow, and if you are able to earn that yield without sacrificing self-custody or the trust issue, you are building in the right direction. And I do believe that a huge paradigm shift is underway for Bitcoin, and it's going to be very exciting to see what the next few years for Bitcoin look like. Digital asset treasuries are getting involved already. We have our first inaugural participant in self-custodial Bitcoin staking, UTXO, which is the investment arm of Nakamoto, which is in the top 20 largest Bitcoin treasuries. So we've already onboarded one, and I feel like a domino effect will take place once everything is live and set in place. So really, really cool stuff. I feel like people should be paying attention and educating themselves on Bitcoin native finance and getting ready for what is to come. And I think that we will be seeing, composability for BTC while it's earning, up to 3%, on its base layer. It's a no-brainer. So I'm getting myself ready. I'm going to take my STBTC and put it to work on BitFlow's HODL MM. I'm going to take some of it and put it and borrow against it on Zest to earn even more yield. So that is just your base case. You're able to earn up to 3% yield on your BTC while also searching for other opportunities to maximize your gains. So really cool stuff. I love the direction for stacks, and I'm hyper bullish on it all. So you should get activated, get mobilized, guys. Put your bullhorns on. This is no small feat, and get into the Stacking DAO and Zest Discords and partake in the activity schedule. We will be live here at 1 p.m. ET in the Stacking DAO Discord for the weekly screen share. So tune in, get your alpha, and rise and grind. Let's go. I hope that the high frequencies follow you and that love surround you today on this lovely Tuesday. And let's go and get to the gains. You guys have a blessed rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.